Scott Young wrapped at it. It's down the ice and a race for it. Here's a pass to Wolanin. Goal! Healy was down and looked like he was out of it from the get-go. And the shot hit him and got in.
Just trickled over Glenn Healy. Colin Campbell looks up. Craig Wolanin did that in Game 3. Jumped up into the play. Ricci feeds Wolanin. Healy's down as Wolanin's hooked from behind. He gets the leg out, but doesn't get it high enough. The pads are stacked, but not on top of each other. They're in front of each other. Had he been able to get that right leg up higher, he would have made the save.
Zubal. He's bumped by Lankinen. And the Nordiques back. Forsberg. Fake the shot. Backhander. That's blocked. Score! Kevin Lowe had made one save, but it came loose, and the Nordiques had taken a 2-0 lead.
John, there's a couple of those big gunners you were talking about off the top. In this case, Forsberg and Nolan, and it's 2-0 Quebec.
What a move. Forsberg on Kevin Lowe. Fakes the shot, freezes Lowe. Lowe hooks Forsberg. Forsberg still gets a shot. Lowe with a good save, but he can't control the rebound. If he's going to be the goalie, he's got to have the rebound in the corner. Owen Nolan gets the rebound off Kevin Lowe and bangs it into the empty net. The score now should be about 5-0, the way the Nordiques are playing.
Here's Leetch. Ahead to Nemchinov at the line. The plate comes to the right side for Big Krivovich. Debo and the angle on it. Now we're getting a penalty. Andy Van Hellemond, full view of that hit on the Ranger player. As you can see, Nemchinov shaken.
Adam Foote took Nemchinov into the boards very heavily. And with 2:29 left, Foote gets the call.
Nemchinov's pointing to his knee. Jim Ramsey's out attending to him. Adam Foote gets a boarding penalty. Nemchinov has the puck and is in an awkward position, but that's...
Put it back at the net. Kovalev trying to get some room to move in front. We're in the final minute of the period. Leetch had to move in as Kovalev fell. And Ricci, Sakic runner coming up, scores! Sakic breaking away, and what an effort it was, but Andy Van Hellemond is waving the Ranger players away. They're arguing that something else happened. It might have been offside.
Kovalev is hurt, and that's what the Rangers are arguing. We couldn't see it from our vantage point, Bob, because it's right up against the boards, but Kovalev was down, and Sakic went in. There was no whistle, and scored a bad goal on Glenn Healy.
This is the thing. Was there a whistle? We can't hear it here.
He's handling the puck. Craig Wolanin with one hand on the stick gives him the chop on the back. And that to me was not a vicious chop by any stretch of the imagination, and he's down. Maybe he hit a nerve in his back, Dick.
To give him the benefit of the doubt. And he's still down. And the conversation is still going on in front of the penalty bench area.
From the crowd.
Closer look here.
Craig Wolanin with one hand on the stick gives Kovalev the chop.
I don't think it's a goal.
No goal.
And the Rangers are leading a charmed life here.
Might be a fly in the wall here now on this one. Van Hellemond and Crawford, as the referee explains to the Quebec coach.
Unless Craig Wolanin is going to get a penalty called by a linesman.
Well, there's no penalty call. This with just 39 seconds left to go in the period.
Here's a shot from close in, and that's blocked. Kovalev nearly picked one off there for New York. He has the puck again. Nemchinov dropped it back. Leetch. Rangers on the board. With 2 minutes left in regulation time. In with Leetch and Graves. Nordiques come back to cover. Nolan nailed it center. Rickard gets set. Basson was in front. The pass doesn't reach him. Ranger player Bukaboom at center ice is hurt.
He tried to step up and hit Owen Nolan, and Nolan saw him coming at the last minute. It was a suicide pass, and you could hear the Quebec bench hollering, "Here he comes, here he comes." And Nolan got ready. Nolan takes that bad pass, and then he gets his elbow up in self-defense and catches Bookeboom right on the chin.
This comes with 1:43 left in the third period. And Bookeboom has been a big weapon for these New York Rangers.
And you can tell, he's been dazed.
First of all, I think he was out
Yes.
when he hit the ice. Now he's dazed.
And you can bet he's really hurt.
Jeff, yes. No doubt about it.
Silence in the Gardens.
Jeff Bookeboom stepping up, trying to hit Owen Nolan, and the sound of the hit, you can tell the severity of the collision, and Bookeboom's having problems. Bookeboom broke his stick, you can see, and he's out. And now he's being helped off the ice.
Can't skate, he can't move his legs at all. Just the one trainer went out.
Okay, Wells. Sylvain Lefebvre threw that pass up the middle, but you could hear the Quebec bench. And that shows that the team is alert, because that was a pass. Had Owen Nolan not prepared himself, he would have been the one being helped off.
Being helped off is Jeff Bookeboom. He's 6'5", 230 pounds, and really got the worst of that, as you saw. No doubt, out for a few seconds near the Quebec blue line, and still very groggy.
Bookeboom, Owen Nolan on the far side. That's the time remaining in the period. Rangers trying to get it tied up. Leveling hit put on. The puck's up against the boards over there on the far side. And Gray separated.
Kevin Lowe got wasted over there. It was one of those, the puck is in my feet and I can hear him coming. Bobby Bassett did what he does really well. Went for the hit. Here's Kevin Lowe. He went down for it. It's at my skates. He knew he was going to get hit. Bobby Bassett had to take.
Kimbrius goes over there to help him. Kovalev centered it. Thibault made the save on the short side. Leach set one up. Rangers tie it.
Nemchinov with a good save by Jocelyn Thibault. Puck comes around. Leach across, and Sakic tips it right onto the stick of Kovalev.
Near sideboard. Slum for it there. Dugout. Sakic lost it. Mateau centered. And Thibault will move up and cover the loose puck.
Oh, man! Alexei Kovalev just took the bait. Steve Finn gave him a little pop, and Kovalev didn't do what Nemchinov has told him to do every game. This is the situation I mentioned. See a little pop by Steve Finn, not much, and then Finn made it look real good. First time in the series, Alexei Kovalev has taken the bait, and now it's the Quebec Nordiques' turn to get the advantage.
Picking it up, the Rangers changing. Clark's pass, a good one down to the right side, and Sakic moving in. Sakic left, and here's Clark. Stop, and Richter hangs on. Clark, what a beautiful chance for Wendell Clark of the Quebec Nordiques, and Richter, well, he has been ever so soft. Center ice, the Rangers come up with it. Nedved dropped it back. Larmer coming in. Rebound score! The Rangers won it.
Larmer gets a defenseman to fall down, picks up his own rebound, and beats Jocelyn Thibault. And it's too bad for Thibault. A strong game for the youngster in the Nordique net.
Sometimes vicious and certainly hotly contested. Not just for 3 periods, not just into the overtime, but right into the postgame as well. Key decision for the Quebec Nordiques. Jocelyn Thibault gets the start. He was actually their #1 goaltender early in the season, but then he was injured early on. Thibault not tested, but Glenn Healy is, and he fails the test. Healy goes down early, and he's beaten by Craig Wolanin, of all people. 1-0 for the Nords, and they jump out to a 2-0 lead. Forsberg with a great move. Forsberg loses control, gets it back, saved by Lowe, but the rebound right there to Owen Nolan. It's 2-0 for Quebec, and Colin Campbell's got to wonder why his Rangers didn't show up. Then late in the period, Craig Wolanin chops Alexei Kovalev. He goes down and he's injured. Referee Andy Van Hellemond sees that. Now he's watching. He's going to give the Nordique one scoring opportunity. Sakic loses control, backhands it in, then the whistle goes, and Van Hellemond made the ruling, that the goal would not count. He says to Crawford, the player was hurt. I gave you guys one chance. Your guy failed, and then I blew the whistle, even though the puck was already in the net. Goal does not count. 2-0 hockey game. More big hits. Kovalenko is buried by Bukabu. New York then continues to take it to the north. Stefan Matteau sends up the screen, and Brian Leetch scores to make it a 2-1 hockey game. Then just over 2 minutes into the third, Brian Leetch sends the puck in deep. It goes off of Sakic right to Kovalev. He buries it. Game tied at 2. Then Owen Nolan will hammer Jeff Bukaboom. Watch these two heading for a collision. Nolan sticks out his elbow right into the face of Bukaboom. He was taken to hospital where he spent the night. We head into overtime, and in overtime, Nedved down the wing with a drop into Larmer. Larmer moves in front. Larmer with a shot blocked, but the rebound goes to Steve Larmer, and he scores what was the game-winning goal. This is a crippler for the Quebec Nordiques. The Rangers pour over the bench and celebrate a 3-2 victory. New York over Quebec. They now lead the series 3-1. And with more in the game, here's our Michael Whalen at Madison Square.
The Rangers showed a lot of savvy and determination, especially after a nearly disastrous first period, to fight back from a 2-goal deficit and win this one in overtime, taking a commanding 3-1 lead in this series.
We're in control, obviously being up 3-1, but we still have a lot of work left. They're a good hockey team, and by no means are they going to quit, and we're just going to have to make sure we're ready to go again.
We come out and we played hard right from the beginning of the game. I think that's the best game we've played, 60 minutes, and with, like you say, a couple bad bounces again, a couple posts didn't go in, delayed whistle that nobody heard, you know, just things that, just bad luck.
I think after the first 10 minutes, we kind of settled down and gave ourselves a little shake. They came awfully hard and didn't catch us off guard. They worked hard to get their chances, and we were fortunate they hit a couple posts, and that third goal got called back.
A lot of guys in the team, we feel that we deserved that game. We worked extremely hard. You know, we knew that we didn't want to get down 3-1, and, you know, it's happened, but, you know, we're not out of this yet. We know that we've just got to battle that much harder.
The Nordiques have only themselves to blame. Their power play was totally ineffectual this evening. They were 0 for 6. They are only 1 for 17 in this entire series. And this from a team that had one of the best power plays on the road during the regular season. Michael Whalen, TSN in New York City.
Now, the Rangers were very philosophical about Van Hellemon's call. They say that it was a judgment call. The Nordiques, of course, see it very differently, so differently that General Manager Pierre Lacroix filed an official protest right after the game.
Under protest. Ask Mr. Burke what he's going to do with this. So, I can't answer for him. What are you protesting, sir? The protest is on the goal. The goal was good. 3-0. That's why it was official? Yeah, it's official.
Now, he wanted to know what Brian Burke thought. The answer for that is that you get the feeling he will not allow the protest. Burke said after the game that he thought it was the right call by Van Helleman, that he had glanced back twice, that he made the right call, not knowing that the player was perhaps very injured or not. He gave the Quebec Nordiques one opportunity. They could not score, and Burke says the call was correct.